Hello, I'm old Mr. Kent, and I'm on my morning E-Trike ride. Morning.
Morning.
And I'm 82 years old, and on this trike, I finally hit 800 miles. So I'm putting the miles on it. Howdy. And so anyway, I thought I'd tell you that because on my last E-Trike ride, that's where I hit 800 miles. So a couple more 100 miles and I'll be at 1,000, like on my other trike that I had to send back because the bearings went bad and they gave me a new one free. That's electric e-bikes. Excuse me. Another one of those coughs because I started talking. Anyway, it's electric with the E missing on the front. So it's electric e-bikes. And in my last video, I said I was going to get an alarm, and so it came. I still haven't got it figured out. I'll show you a picture of it from Amazon. Actually, there's about a half a dozen different alarms you can buy for roughly the same price, under $20. Excuse me. And it appears that they've all been made in the same factory in China. They just have different brand names. And so I just found one, and it comes with instructions, but the instructions are so small that a guy my age has a hard time reading it. So I let my wife read them. And, you know, it's written by a Chinese guy. He's doing his best and everything. But it's hard to understand. But as it comes, you can change the volume and the sound of the alarm and all that stuff. And if you want to watch, if there's videos on YouTube on how to do it and stuff. So, oh, there's a lawnmower. That's what that is. And so you can get on YouTube and look at that. But it's anyway, I'm going to get around the corner here where there's no people to bother because I'm going to be setting the alarm off, and I'll show you how it works. So we'll get down here just a little ways, and I guess we'll just stop right here. Okay. Now I'm going to take a picture of it with my phone of where it's mounted here on the trike. It's mounted right there, but naturally you can't see it from the camera. So I'll take these off, and by now I'll have the picture taken and you can see it on the video. So here's the unit that comes with every single one, different ones you buy. They all have the same unit. And whoops, I got it upside down. And so the top button sets the alarm, the next button down turns it off. And so I'm going to go through the process here and show you how it works. So I push the top button, and you get that little zing thing, then you get another sound. Okay, now I wiggle the bike. That tells me that it's set. So now if it gets wiggled one more time, the alarm goes off. Okay, so those are the steps you go through. I know it's set for sure. So let's say I'm going to take it for a ride. I'm not supposed to be messing with it. So there we go. And I didn't want to bother everybody. But anyway, it works pretty good. Once you figure out how to use it. So, if you have any questions, put them in the comments, and I'll try to answer more. So, that's what I've got that's new. And I notice right now I have 801 miles on this trike. All right, so speaking of stolen items, I've been very fortunate in my life that I can't remember anything that has been stolen from me. So I guess I'm very blessed. Now my son, Bruce, the young guy, when he was young, years ago, well, he was married and everything. So anyway, he got an old Forerunner, and he fixed it up, put crawler wheels on it, put a winch on the front, and he belonged to this club, I think it was called the Mud Dogs, and they would go into the mountains and do all kinds of stuff. And so he took me into the mountains with him one time on a snow. He was breaking the way for a couple other guys behind him. He was breaking the way on a mountain path, a mountain road, a narrow mountain road, to be able to go up. And they would go up into the mountains and go down someplace else because they had maps and stuff. And I'm sorry about my throat. So anyway, we're going along, and the snow is real deep, and he's just plowing through it and backing up and plowing through it. And we got to this one place where the road was kind of slanting like this, and I'm sitting on the passenger side, and I'm like this, and then all of a sudden everything gave way, and the car started, or the Forerunner started sliding off. But fortunately, there was a tree right here because there was a gully down there, and well, it started sliding off. Well, it hit that tree. It's like I'm sitting there and a tree comes up, boom, in my window. And so there we were stopped. But because he had that winch, first time I'd ever seen anything like that, he pulled it out, hooked it up to a tree on the other side of the path, and pulled us away from the tree and up the road to a better place. And we went. I think after that, about there, we turned around. So he had a really nice rig. Well, he was also going to the dogs. They're my friends, and oh wow, they got half a dozen dogs in there. Anyway, dogs are my friend. I never had a problem with dogs. Okay, so I should say when I was 6 years old and just learned how to ride a bike, neighbors had a little dog who came out and bit me on the back of the leg, and so my folks called the cops, and they came and took care of those people's dog or something. And I've never had any trouble since then. Well, anyway, so he was going to diesel and power equipment school, and really loving it and everything. And that vehicle is what he drove to work. And so he comes out one day and it's gone because somebody has stolen it. And so I can't remember the steps he went through, but it never showed up. Never showed up. Excuse me. So then, a couple of weeks later, he gets this email or a phone call. I can't remember. Back then it was probably a phone call. Anyway, this guy found it up in the mountains, and he saw this wrecked, this car that was pretty much no good, no wheels and everything. And he looked in the glove compartment, and he happened to find a receipt of some kind and had my son's name on it. So he called him up. I think that's what he did. Told him where it was. So we got a flatbed trailer and headed on up into the mountains where that was. And sure enough, they had taken everything they could off of it, including that nice winch. So he pulled it up, and it's unbelievable. I don't remember all the details, but all we had was a hand winch, and so he had to do several steps to get it up on the trailer all the way. And then he took it home and rebuilt it, believe it or not. And so he drove it and everything like that. And then one day he was on his way to work. He was on I don't know if it was a freeway, but it was a busy highway. And it was early in the morning, and it was just him on the road, except for there was one pickup truck with a trailer coming on a side ramp. And for some reason or another, they didn't see each other, and my son ended up spinning across the intersection and into a light pole, you know, a great big round one. And so he totaled out his Forerunner. So that was something. And then another thing happened. His wife, who still works at a dental office. She was working at a dental office. She came out and she had a newer model. She had a newer model Forerunner, and it was gone. And it wasn't long. It was just maybe less than a week, and they found it about 4 blocks away in the alley with the wheels missing. So got that back. My kids have had things stolen, but I guess you just say I'm blessed because I've never had anything stolen. But with this bike, something strange going on in our backyard. Now, in our neighborhood, they're claiming that people are pilfering through stuff in the middle of the night, you know. I'm sure it was just maybe teenagers or something, but anyway. And I don't know if they've actually stolen anything, but they've got on their cameras, they've got record of people going in and going through their stuff. And so where we are, I'm pretty well protected because although they can see my bike from the road, there's a 5-foot metal fence, cyclone type fence, and they wouldn't be able to get the trike over that. And then at the other end of the yard, there's a gate which is only closed in the nighttime with a rope. But anyway, so as I said before, my wife and I were out shopping. Wasn't anybody home, and we got home, and this trike had been moved backwards, trying to get it off the porch, and the rearview mirror was messed up and everything. Well, then last night, believe it or not, after I had learned how to use the alarm, I didn't want to set it until we went to bed. So we're sitting in the living room, and I decided, well, I best go out and get this thing set up to go, you know, set the alarm and all. So I went out, and the trike was backed up and turned sideways on our front porch. And I thought, so I should have had the alarm set because something moved my trike. And so tonight I'm going to set it up earlier. And if it's a little animal of some kind, that could be what it is. But anyway, so that's the story of this alarm, and that's why I got it. And good morning. And so I'll keep you posted on how things go. But yeah, you can get them. They're about $20 or less. So I guess that's about it for now. Plus, I'm coming up to a busy road. So I'll just stop right here and say thanks for watching, and God bless.